Good morning, students. So today we will start with the next chapter, electric potential. Now before we come to electric potential, let us quickly revise what is the potential energy of any system, not just electrical but any kind of system. Now the potential energy says that this one we studied in the chapter of work, energy and power. It says that potential energy is the work done. It is the work done in assembling a system of particles, against a force, that is against a force. That means if we are doing some work and there is no force that exists there in that area or in that system in which we are against which we cannot do work, then the work done is supposed to be zero. For example, if we move away from the surface of earth, suppose this is your earth and this is us, and if we move away from the surface of earth, then we are doing some work. Why we are doing some work? Because the force of gravity is pulling us in the downward direction. It is pulling us towards the earth and we are moving up against the force, against this force. That means we are doing some work. Also, another important thing about work done is it is conservative. Conservative means it does not depend on path. It only depends on initial position and final position. Initial position and final position does not depend on the path, does not depend how we get from initial to final position. It only depends on these 2 points. Hence it is called a conservative force or conservative system. Similarly, on the same grounds, electrostatic force or electrostatic potential energy can be defined as the work done in assembling a system of charges against electrostatic force. It is the work done in assembling the charges. That are several charges like q1, q2, q3. We assemble them in a system from various distances against an existing electrostatic force. Then such work done is called electrostatic potential energy. Now we know that when we are doing work on some system, then that work is stored in the form of potential energy in that system. Hence the word potential energy. And since it is done in a system of electrostatic against an electrostatic force, that's why it is called electrostatic potential energy. Okay. Now one thing to note about this is when the distance between two charges, let's say q1 and q2, when this distance is so large that we can consider it infinity, the two charges are at infinite distance, in that case the electrostatic potential energy will be considered to be zero. That is, the two charges are not interacting with each other. Since the interaction is zero, we can also say that electrostatic potential energy can also be called interaction energy, because we are calculating this energy, we are calculating this work done on the basis of interaction between two or more charged particles. So we can call it interaction energy also. Now let us say we have two charges. Now this is the potential energy of two let me write it once again. Of two charge system. Let us say that there are two charges q1 and q2 separated by a distance r. Okay, both the two charges, let them be plus q1 and plus q2. Now the force existing between them will be of repulsive nature, that is q1 and q2 will apply force on each other in opposite directions. Since we have to keep doing some work in keeping them in these two positions against these two forces, that means a work has to be done, and that work will be stored in the form of potential energy of this system. Okay, now let us say that q1 is fixed, and q2 is an infinite distance. Okay, now if we bring q2 near q1, then we will have to do work against this repulsive force. Let us say this is the point where we have to bring q2, okay, at a distance r. Now let us say we bring q2 at some distance x from q1, then in that case a force will be applied in this direction, and this force will be equal to the Coulombian force K q1 q2 upon x square. Okay, now the work which has to be done is given as F dot S. This we have already studied in the lower classes, force into displacement. Based on this, we can say that we have to do small amount of work in displacing this particle in this direction towards q1 by a small distance dx, then small amount of work done will be given as F dx. But remember that there will also be a minus sign here. Why there will be a minus sign? Because we are doing displacement against the force in the opposite direction. So there will be an angle of 180 degree, which means that we will have a minus direction here, a minus sign here. Now this F can be written as K q1 q2 upon x square dx. Now to find the total work, we have to integrate the equation. So I'll keep the minus sign out, k out, q1 and q2 out, because these are constant, and integrate 1 upon x square with respect to x. Now the integration, because we are bringing the particle q2 from infinity to distance r, so we can put the limits from infinity to r. Now when we integrate it, integration of 1 upon x square equals to minus 1 upon x. So it will be minus 1 upon x from infinity to r. This minus will get cancelled out, and when we put the limit, we will find that W, or the work done, will be equal to K q1 q2 upon r. This is your work done of two system charges, or we can say the potential energy or the interaction energy. Suppose the system consists of more than two charges. Suppose the system has multiple charges. Suppose it has three charges. Let us say the three charges are q1, q2 and q3. q1 is at a distance of r1 from q2, a distance of r3 from q3, and let us say the distance between q2 and q3 be r2. Now the potential energy of the system will be the potential energy between the pairs of particles in the system. Energy between pairs. Okay, that means the total work done will be equal to the work done between Q1 Q3, between Q1 Q2, and between Q2 Q3. So if I write directly the formula, work done will be equal to K Q1 Q2 upon R1 plus K Q1 Q3 upon R3 plus K Q2 Q3 upon R2. So this will be the work done, or the potential energy, or the interaction energy of the system of multiple charges.